creative. With performance expertise in. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know if it's my network or I can hear you breaking every
Okay.
now and then.
Seems my network is going on and off.
I think your mic is muted.
Oh, it seems he's having network issues, but let me go ahead with the introduction of Speaker Funimi Ajakaye. So, Funimi Ajakaye is a strategic HR tech leader with a proven track record of driving transformative initiatives that enhances organizational effectiveness and maximize both individual and team performance. She has expertise in management, business development, insight generation, and Ufonime also delivers data-driven, people-focused solutions that align with strategic business objectives, creating tangible value in fast-paced environments. She is skilled in problem solving, analytical thinking, collaboration, and communication. Ms. Ufonime consistently achieves measurable results, passionate about fostering growth and development. Ms. Ofonim is also dedicated to building high-performing inclusive cultures and driving positive change in its organizations. Her areas of expertise include organizational design, performance management, people development, and business process improvement. So that's a lot for our first speaker. And I would like you to please proceed with your presentation. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I want to believe everybody can hear me, and you can kindly just give me like thumbs up if you can see my slides.
Yes, I can see your slide from my end.
All right, great. So not to waste any more time, I'll just go straight into the agenda for today. So the topic, well, happy to be here. My name is Ofonimi Ajakaye. Happy to be here. The topic today that we'll be speaking about is building a career in tech. So moving from skills to leadership. I would have loved for this session to be interactive, but because of time, I'll just take it as it should be. Anyway, so literally, I just created a guide to navigating growth and impact in the evolving landscape of tech and leadership development. So first things first is why do we all want to move into tech? Why tech? So everyone these days, everyone is running to, oh, tech this, tech that. I want to be HR tech. I want to transition from XYZ occupation into tech. I want to do something tech related. Why? And very, very simple. One, because of evolving roles. Now, the tech industry is rapidly evolving with roles and skills constantly changing every day. So having your technical expertise alone is no longer enough for career growth. Nowadays, professionals need to develop a broader range of competencies. So you find people delving more and more into more tech-related things. Leadership in tech is a blend of domain expertise with strategic vision and people skills. And at the same time, also building career resilience, because for you to move into tech, you also need to be able to build that resilience to help you not just experience, help you feel, help you fail, help you hurt, and at the same time, help you succeed. So the whole idea in career resilience is to build thick skin that helps you keep going. Now, this shift in the tech career landscape is crucial for organizations to stay competitive and innovative. So looking at the career ladder, so your path to leadership, in the next couple of slides, I'll be taking us from the different steps in moving to leadership. So looking at the skills foundation, the mid-level growth, and then leadership excellence. So in each of these different steps, I would highlight the most important things that you need to do in terms of shifting from just skills to the boardroom. So step one, looking at the foundation, so mastering your core skills. As professionals, we need to choose a technology domain or a tech domain that we enjoy and commit to mastering it thoroughly. So literally mastering that core skill. So what is that? Find that one thing that you're good at. It could be software engineering, it could be AI, it could be cybersecurity, it could be data analytics, whatever area that aligns with your interest. Find it and be genuinely good at it and enjoy it at that. And not to forget that continuous learning is also very key. We need to leverage online platforms like, I know you've heard of Coursera, you've heard of LinkedIn Learning, you've heard of CPD Learning, Code Academy. Build your portfolio of practical experience and stay up to date with latest trends in your field. So continuous learning is something that we have to continue doing. So whether we like it or not, in our spare time, even while you're working, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. They will tell you that learning only stops at the grave. It's only when you die that learning stops. So you have to continue to learn. And then there's something about squiggly growth. I don't know if we've heard of it. Be adaptable. So it's important to stay adaptable. So nowadays, career has moved from, I want to move from, say, a tech analyst to a tech manager to, it's no longer a linear thing. Now it can just be, it just scatters. You don't literally have to follow a path anymore. So it's no longer a linear growth. It's now non-linear. You can move from this field to that field. Just continue to stay adaptable. So while we focus on our core specialization, you need to experiment beyond and discover new interests to complement our expertise. This helps us to remain relevant and valuable even as tech evolves. So despite the fact that, yes, you're skilled in one thing, also be adaptable, be open to exploring other fields as well. Step two, we're looking to progressing to mid-level growth. Now, expanding your influence beyond coding. Mid-career is often a time of uncertainty, but embracing exploration and adaptability is a natural part of professional growth. Now, you'll see the first thing I've said there is build real-world experience. So develop foundational skills through hands-on experience, solve complex problems, and deliver tangible results. Number two, develop soft skills. So it goes beyond understanding your core skills and mastering your core skills. Develop soft skills. So cultivate communication skills, teamwork skills, time management skills, emotional intelligence skills, building resilience, work on your strategic thinking. You need to develop all of that. And three, expand your network, seek mentorship, build professional connections. Survey has it that 40 to 60% of tech positions come through networking rather than job boards. So find a way to expand your horizon through pathways like this, such as attending some of these shows or speaking conventions and what have you not, but literally just expanding your professional network through mentorship and building connections. Number three is transitioning into leadership. Now, beyond your technical skills, leadership requires emotional intelligence. When you decide or when you eventually get to the board level, it goes beyond your technical skills. It requires emotional intelligence. It requires you having a strategic vision, looking at the bigger picture and how you see yourself in it. It also requires the ability to influence and inspire teams effectively. Embrace the glue walk. Now, the glue walk is something that was inspired by Tanya Riley. She's the author of the Staff Engineer's Path, and she also owns the No Idea blog. Take on less glamorous but critical tasks that binds team together. Now, what does being the glue mean? It's taking on those invisible type of jobs that they may seem mundane, but without it, everything crumbles. So now the key to doing the glue work. So for instance, in my space, something as simple as onboarding, something as simple as getting all the tools and everything right for new joiner when the person joins, it might seem that very little thing, but without it, the entire employee experience just withers away. So, but the key to doing a glue work deliberately is to make the impact visible, make it show that you're not just doing the glue work, but you're using it as a stepping stone from technical to leadership. So it might seem like you're doing that very little thing. Why am I being asked to do this? Right? Why am I not doing the forward facing things that everybody is seeing? Why am I the one going to patch something together? Right? It might seem very less glamorous, but the critical glue work is the one that helps bind teams together. Develop your strong business acumen as well alongside your technical expertise so that you can make decisions that drive organizational success. So building your business acumen, don't be a master in just your field. And that's why I've been saying be adaptable. Don't just be a master in your own field. Expand your horizon, expand your interest. What is this area saying? Be interested in other fields as well. So that way you can connect all the dots together and make tangible decisions. So when they were speaking in the boardroom, your voice is heard, and not just heard. The ideas that come through are loud and clear. Now, aside from all of those 3 steps that I have mentioned, there are also critical things that you need to do to move to leadership as well, such as building a personal brand and your digital footprint. So as professionals, it's important, very important, to build a strong professional brand, personal brand, and digital footprint to showcase your expertise and give you the opportunity to open up to global opportunities. Now, one key way to do this is by publicly displaying your skills and your projects through different platforms like this or speaking at industry events. Another thing is community engagement. Actively engage with professional communities. So find your community, find that group of tech professionals, join different communities. I belong to a couple of HR communities as well, and I get a lot of tips, daily tips and newsletters and stuff from them, and it keeps me ahead of the industry. So before things are even being spoken in the boardroom, I'm already aware of it. I already have tangible examples to use, and I always keep learning and learning and learning. So you find me reading all of the time. So actively engage with professional communities, contribute to open source projects that can help build your credibility, cultivate a robust digital presence that can lead you to leadership roles. Now the goal is to position yourself as a knowledgeable and valuable asset. And like I said, it might take you just putting together or being the glue in the team that would position you as a valuable asset in your industry, but seek to build your personal brand and also increase your digital footprint. Another thing is overcoming challenges and staying resilient. Now, despite all of these fancy things, the world is evolving every single day. Now, tech layoffs are impacting professionals at all levels, whether we like it or not, not only in the tech industry, everywhere. One of the articles I read just recently was speaking about how to build resilience in times of redundancy. If for example, in these evolving times that we're in, you find that your job has become redundant, what do you do? So tech layoffs are impacting professionals at different levels. So continuous skill development, building resilience, and being adaptable is essential for long career successes. Now, making sure that you're not taken aback by the changes that have come, right? Embrace these challenges as learning opportunities, focus on stress management, and cultivate a growth mindset where you see changes as opportunities for growth rather than a threat. So when changes are happening around you, eliminate the external noise. You will hear a lot of, have you heard? I can give you a very, very simple example. When the whole AI thing started, as HR, we heard a lot of, and I'm sure a couple of you have also heard it. We heard a lot of, HR, you don't have any job again, no, because right now tech is here, AI is here to take your jobs. ChatGPT can write resumes. ChatGPTs can write job descriptions. ChatGPT can do this, can do that, can do this. And in my personal space, what I decided to do was to block out the external noise and see how I can leverage on the introduction of AI to my advantage. And one thing I noticed is, yes, AI has come. However, instead of me seeing it as a threat, I have embraced it as a way of simplifying work for myself and taking that opportunity that I now have to build on my strategic thinking. So you see me doing a lot of, and that's what AI cannot do. AI is not human. It can't do a lot of strategic thinking for you. No, it can't. It can't do a lot of analyzing of, it can't do that. It can't bring the human into human resources. So I blocked out the external noise and I looked for opportunities to develop myself. So cultivating a growth mindset and using the change as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat. Now, like I've said over and over again, it is important to stay adaptable to technologies, to methodologies, and evolving roles and requirements throughout your career journey. Identify what genuinely motivates you and make you work, right? So find your motivation. So identify what really motivates you, run with it, literally trying to stay ahead of the curve. I know I'm just talking and talking and talking. After this entire thing, I'll open it up for questions and answers. So just bear with me. And if I'm running too fast while it's during the question Q&A time, you can ask me to recap something that you probably missed. So now let's look at some real life stories and lessons from some tech leaders. I don't know if you've heard of Pete Torres from Capital One. Capital One is a bank it's a bank. He found his passion for problem solving while he was in the army. And now he leads cloud migration teams. So he's currently a director of software engineering at Capital One, right? His love for tech, came when he was in the army. He was an army veteran and he grew up on quiet influences from his grandfather, who was a valued problem-solving leader and would rather work on doing rather than talking. So while he was in the army, he saw firsthand how tech could be used to solve communication problems. So this was just by seeing how video chatting works. So video chatting with family instead of using call cards and all of that. And that sparked his interest in tech, right? With that mindset, he focused on purpose, on solving pain points. So at that point, while he was in the army, and I haven't been in the army, but from movies and things I have seen, you know that one of the major things that, aside from fighting war or whatever it is that they do, is communicating with family. So he saw that, oh, tech could do this for us, and he was interested in that. That sparked his interest. This is someone who was in the army. He sparked his interest in what tech could do. And at the end of the day, he's now involved in bringing internal tools for data management to the broader market. So not just building good internal systems, but thinking about what works for others. So and this is what I talk about when we speak about scalability and adaptability. So this is someone who moved from being in the army into the tech space. And one of the many quotes that he has is, let your interest guide you as you move through your career. So, and I have said it before, what are you interested in? Follow your interests, follow your values. Another example is Ethan Evans. He was a former Amazon VP, and he shared his 20-year journey from being an engineer to an executive. So literally moving, just like the topic says, moving from skills to leadership. So he highlighted the importance of high visibility wins. And here, what he was speaking about is literally looking at the glue effect that I spoke about earlier. Now, he's the former Amazon VP, and he has shown us he shows a powerful example on how technical depth and a leadership mindset can give you a career growth. He doesn't just talk about shipping products. He crafted systems like an ownership principle that helped other people rise. He built visibility by doing what needed to be done and even overlooked work, right? Early in his career, one of the things I don't know if anyone is aware of his story. He launched a feature on Amazon app called Test Drive. What that feature was to allow customers try apps before buying them. Now, this particular feature failed. It slowed down devices, developers were upset. It even disrupted plans at the toppest level, right? For many leaders, that kind of public failure is just done. That's it. Like it's the end of his career. However, he used that opportunity to demonstrate the breakthrough loop. So what did he do? He owned the problem. He took full accountability rather than deflecting from it. He solved what matters most to leadership. So he focused on issues that the top leaders cared about and fixed it. And then he communicated his progress clearly. So now instead of whatever mistake he made sink him, this circle he then built trust and credibility. And this same approach moved him from the engineering space or the engineering room into executive space. So he moved from director to vice president. And at the same time, he also lifted up a lot of his team members along the line. And one of his many sayings is, they never say that's not my job. So and that's what I was saying when speaking about being the glue. So don't look at it as, oh, that's not even my space. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing. It's not my area, or been there, done that, I've done that, or that's not how we do things here. So breaking through that loop helped him move from skill to leadership. And then also coming back to the squiggly career wisdom, and I'm sure you're wondering what squiggly career is. A book by Helen Topper, I think, where she's spoken about career not taking one way. It's not a one-way traffic anymore. It can take any form. Now, career paths are rarely linear. However, resilience and curiosity for long-term successes and satisfaction. So your tech career, it's now in your hand. Like they say, your career is in your hand. You need to own it, you need to grow it, and you need to lead it. Now, the path to a successful career is not always linear. Growth can come from unexpected areas. It can come from unexpected parts, unexpected things that you would not expect. And that's why you always need to continue to find a way to stay ahead of the curve. Technical mastery is important, but emotional intelligence is exceptionally essential for effective leadership. Now, actively seek out feedback, mentorship, and opportunities that push you outside your comfort zone and help you to keep growing. Leadership, as they will say, is a continuous journey of learning, adaptation, and making meaningful impact. It is not a destination. You don't get there and stop. It is a lifelong pursuit. Now, start by taking steps today to build the career ladder that will lead you from strong technical skills to inspiring leadership. Now, before I let you go, my assignment or my my urge to you, if you have to take anything out of this presentation, is your tech career journey starts now. So it's time to take action. And I need you to go back to your drawing book, go back to your drawing board and reflect on specific skills you want to master and identify your starting point and your strengths. Plan your next strategic step on your career ladder. Set measurable goals and timelines. Act by building projects, build your networks, connect with professionals, and lead initiatives. Your successful future in tech awaits you. So that being said, thank you very much. Yes. Any questions?
Thank you very, very much. This is inspiring. This is wonderful. Thank you very much for your impact. Thank you very much. I've learned a lot from this presentation. I think one thing I will take home is that let your interests guide you as you move through your career path. And in other words, let your interests guide you as you navigate your path, as you navigate your career path. And we should also know that passion fuels purpose. Thank you very much. But I have two questions for you. But please, if you have a question, you can drop it on the chat box, or you can as well raise your hand, and the opportunity will be given to you. Or you can as well type it on the chat box. All right, my very first question is this. What was your journey like moving from technical roles to leadership position?
So personally for me, I think as a child, I have always had a very, very inquisitive mindset. So I have always been interested in literally everything. So you find me wanting to read. I read a lot. I read a lot. I read a lot. So continuous learning for me has always been it. Now, my journey has been all of my life. I found myself starting my career in FMCG. So I've always been in the FMCG space. And I have grown, I have become a master or will I say of HR in the FMCG space. And majority of the time, even when I get poached by different organizations, one of the many things I say when I am looking at organizations that are poaching me is, what is different? What is that additional thing that I haven't learned before that I would be learning in this new space? It's because passion drives me really. And I hate to be in a space where I am redundant, where I'm just sitting down, you wake me up 2 + 2, 4, 4 + 4, 8. I always like to be challenged. So moving from space to space, you find me moving from the food industry to the milk industry, even moving to the beauty industry, even moving to drinks industry. And then at the end of the day, I found myself working with a friend who was building a tech startup, completely different industry. And it really challenged me 100% because HR will say HR is HR everywhere. However, applying it to the different industry really differs. Currently, I even work for a fintech company, and I must say it has been extremely different and challenging. I would not say I have it all. I would not say that I know it all. Now, leveraging on my past experience in terms of the basic things of HR, performance management, succession planning, yes, it has helped me have a very strong voice in the room, but exploring other areas, I would say, has also helped me. So delving into starting first by helping a friend with his tech space, moving into fintech space has also been extremely eye-opening for me. So I would say my journey has not been just like I said, being adaptive. It has not been a one size fits all. I haven't been straight, oh, I'm just here in this industry, I'm just going and going. I have found a way to navigate through different industries. And truth be told, I am still learning. I am still learning every single day. I'm still building my business acumen in the new industry I have found myself, because it's completely different from what I know. So yeah, like I said, continuous learning is important. Being adaptable is important, because I'm sure if I was just an FMCG girl, I probably wouldn't be able to survive in the other industries I found myself now. So yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, ma, you did. You
Yeah.
really elaborated the question. Thank you very, very much. I have another question, but we have a speaker. We have the second speaker in the house, but you can quickly touch the second question, because since it relates to HR. My second question is this: what do HR teams look for beyond technical skills when hiring tech talent?
So the thing is, when I am in the when I'm in recruitment, beyond the technical skills, and it showed in one of my slides, I have said, yes, build your technical skills, but at the same time, you also need to develop your soft skills. Now, if I meet you at an interview, aside from, yes, you've ticked the box on, or you know the technical part of the work, but communication is a problem, then I'll be wondering why I need to hire you. Time management is a problem. Leadership, if you're gunning for a leadership roles, there are different ways we measure all of these things. And that's why it is essential for you to also develop your soft skills as well. Now, if you're applying for a leadership role, you should be able to demonstrate in the course of your career how you have led teams, right? And when I mean leading teams, I don't want to hear how you use your technical expertise to lead. No, a couple of things will be coming through, like how you have applied yourself as a leader, how you have helped your team become a high performing team, what you guys have done together in terms of even building performance management as a team, how you have encouraged continuous learning in your team, how even communicating effectively to me, what it means, what that would also come through for me. So aside from, and that's why it's very critical for you to develop your soft skills. Now, it's fantastic that you are mastery in coding or whatever technical jargons that may be there, but you also need to develop the other side. Now, building your business acumen. I had attended an interview one time where the individual was applying for a role in commercial, right? But from a HR point of view. And the entire um style of the interview was literally commercial driven. It had nothing to do with HR. So we wanted to understand the person's business acumen, so what have you done in the commercial space? So for instance, because the person was speaking about, it was an FMCG commercial interview. So how familiar are you with our brand? Who are our competitors? What do you think we should do? How do we place in the stores? Do you understand all of those things? It was looking at the person's business mindset, business acumen, as opposed to, oh, I'm HR. Yes, I know how to do succession planning, or I know how to do this. So I hope that really helped. Yeah.
Well, thank you very, very much for the insight. We really appreciate.
You're welcome.
Please, do anyone have any other question for her? All right. Innocent Paul.
Yes. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Your question.
I don't have a question for now. He has completed everything, answered all the questions I want to ask.
All right. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much, Ma. We really appreciate. Our second speaker is here.
Okay.
Okay, John. Sorry, John. You raised your hand.
Yes, I did. Good
All right.
afternoon.
Good
Yeah,
afternoon.
yeah. Okay, so I have a mini question, and then
Okay.
Mini question.
during the presentation, she spoke about the importance of connection and all of that. But I think I find connection as a very, very broad topic. So I'd like to know if there are any advices and or tips that you can give us in connecting with like other professionals in our field.
This avenue. Thank you, John. But this avenue is is a space to connect. So I don't know if you're familiar with everyone on the on online, but this is also an avenue for you to connect. You can join LinkedIn, you can connect via LinkedIn, you can send messages, you can say, okay, you know what? The XYZ resonated with me. Can I get your email or what your LinkedIn to connect with you? It's because networking can be in any form. You don't have to necessarily wait for me to say, oh, hi, John, meet Ofonime, and Ofonime meet John before you know that you network. No, someone has even dropped on, on the chat to say, can you share your LinkedIn information? So networking can come in any form. So tips and tricks. Now, I'll give you an example because personally, I'm an introvert. And as introverts, we hate speaking. We actually do not like chatting. We have our social meter, our social engagement meter, where it runs low and you're like, okay, it's time. Thank you. I've spoken too much for today and all of that. But I find myself as a HR person pushing myself further and coming out of my comfort zone. So you see me connecting with people. You see me in meetings. Not that you have to be the loudest voice in the room. No, don't get me wrong. You see, because as an introvert, you're also a very deep thinker. You find me picking, pinpointing, I like that person's mindset. I would like to connect with that person. And I connect with that person. And before you know it, from that connection, it builds to another, it builds to another. So even using platforms like this can help you connect. Do you get? It can help build your networking, connect with people on the call. Do you get, what do you do? How can we help each other? How can we benefit from each other? You have this program, you have this idea, you're willing to share. What do you think? Do you think I should do this, or what do you think? So using whatever platforms that you find, right? It's a fantastic avenue for you to build your connection. I don't know if I answered your question properly, John.
You did very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ma. Um, just a little tip talking about connecting. I want each and every one of us to drop our LinkedIn profile link so that we can connect and share ideas together even after this meeting. Thank you very much, Ma. We really appreciate, and we wish you all the very best in your tech and professional career.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
All
much,
right.
everyone. It was good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Let's move straight to our second speaker. Our second speaker is Adu Kosi. Adu Kosi is a data-based software and AWS cloud solution architect at Barnet, specializing in designing and implementing robust cloud solution and database architectures with a strong focus and on optimizing performance and scalability. Adu is a dedicated Adu is dedicated to meeting and dynamic needs of business by leveraging cutting-edge technologies to deliver innovation solutions that drive efficiency and enhance operational capabilities. Wow, it's good to have you, sir. You are welcome, Mr. Adu Kosi.
Thank you for the introduction. If you can please hear me.
We can hear you, sir. The floor is open, sir. You can kindly share your screen and present for us. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you, please.
Okay, okay. The floor is open, sir.
Please, can you see the screen? Please, can you see the screen?
Yes, 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 we can.
Okay, before I go on to my presentation, I just want to just say something small, just introduction to myself. He has done it, but I just want to add something small. I'm Edu Kusi, as he said, uh, from Ghana, and I say Medasi. Thank you for the opportunity you guys have given me. I think it's a great opportunity, just being part of this, just a community group, IT community group. I've been in this IT industry for 15 years. I started as a database instructor at IPMC Ghana, then move on to other aspect of it, not instructing aspects, but moving to the production aspect. So I've instructed and I have also built products after my instructing career. I started moving to the production side to build some apps, which is fintech app. And also I have some kind of ERP, which is for school management. And I also have other softwares for managing filling station. So I would just say, I have 15 years of working experience. I started learning it, that was some years ago. It took me like 5 years, but that doesn't mean that everybody should go through that same 5 years. It depends on the, what you really want to do in the IT and what knowledge, or I would just say, what achievement do you want in it? Because most people can just say, I'm just moving into this tech to do this, or I'll focus on this and build, especially those who are now moving into this AI industry, moving into this other tech aspects. Some can choose some part of it and just work on it. That doesn't mean that you should use the whole 5 years like I did. So let me go back to my presentation, which is the slide. The main focus of this meeting is on building a career in tech from skill to leadership. To be able to build a career in tech from skill to leadership, you need to gain relevant technical and soft skills. Please, can you hear me? Okay. Okay. So acquire fundamental knowledge and skills. Make sure you have basic knowledge in computing. I gave an example to be Windows management. Most people move into tech without getting fundamentals of whatever he or she is going to do. In tech, we have general fundamentals. You can't just start moving into, let's say, web designing, or let me use my database developer and being a software developer without knowing how to at least manage the Windows, know how the computer works sometimes. It's going to be a little bit difficult, because when you move straight to the professional course, or if you try doing something professional without knowing the fundamentals, it becomes a little bit challenging. So most people who try that kind of trend, like moving straight to a professional course without having the fundamentals, sometimes find that difficulties, and if they don't take care, can just have that kind of, I would just say, losing interest in whatever they want to have in the career in IT. So it's always advisable, start from the beginner's level, understand, one, how you can install basic applications on your Windows machine, or if it is Mac, on the Mac operating system, knowing how you can just check some of the components of your computer and how important is it, how important that component is in terms of technology. Let me use this as an example. Let's say we have the memory. What role does the memory play? The hard disk, what role does it play? Know all these things, because you can't move straight to the advanced level whilst you don't know some basics. it becomes so difficult for you, because when you move to the advanced level, they are assuming that you know some basics. So most of the things are not going to be explained. And even when you are called to duty, or if you're going to work for a company, they believe that those basic things are things you know. So there's no need for them to come and just ask you the simple question like, oh, create a directory, do this, then you start to ask yourself questions. So how is this created? So please have that basic knowledge and fundamental skills. After getting that, you can reflect on your interest. So you consider specific areas of technology that excite you. So after you are done having that kind of fundamental knowledge, you can begin to ask questions, whether that knowledge you got it from somebody who is your mentor, or you enroll yourself in, let's say, a training class. You can ask the instructor. So apart from this basic knowledge, is there any way I can choose? Because IT is very broad. We have the database guys, we have the networking guys, we have the cybersecurity, which is another aspect of networking. So you need to be able to figure out which one do you think will interest you by asking questions from the instructor or whoever I said mentors you. Also, you need to identify career path. Like I said, IT is very broad. So please do not go and do some touches. That's what most people do. They move into this, do something small. Then they'll move into another thing, do something small. So it's like they don't have, I'll just say, a percentage you can be convinced of. Let's say 80% or 70%, or I'll just say 90% knowledge on whatever he or she is talking of. So you meet somebody who is into tech, tell you, oh, I am a software developer. I am, let's say, a web developer. I am a mobile app developer. And you begin to ask the person, so what application stack do you use? And what language do you use? The person can call the languages. But if you begin to question the person to know how the person can put together that knowledge and bring out a product, you get to know that no, the person doesn't really understand whatever he or she is talking of. Just he or she can call names. And it's because of the person not taking a career path, knowing that, okay, I am moving into networking. So after networking, if I want to, let's say, migrate from the networking level to cybersecurity, I can be able to do that because I have knowledge on networking, which can help me move into cybersecurity. Okay. There is a question. There is another point here that says take a relevant course. Like I said before, if you are even just to start from the beginners level, at least you should have a course to take, whether it's going to be online course or somebody you can just trust who is in this level, not necessarily trusting, but somebody who is in this level, you think, oh, this person has done a lot, or this person, you believe that this person can take you through the course. You can just contact the person can take you through. So most people also do that online courses that are affordable. Some use Udemy, others have other platforms they connect to. So it depends on you. After getting all this relevant knowledge from the courses, you need to, if you like to write a certificate on that, because sometimes the certifications also test your understanding of whatever you know. Because most people, aside the knowledge or the technical skills they have, they don't have any paper to prove. I will not say it plays a role, but here we are focusing on the skill much. So focus on the skill, get the skill, and if you want to get that kind of international recognition, sometimes you need to have the certification so that a company can easily employ you based on your knowledge and your certification. You have developing soft skills. Alongside technical skills, cultivate soft skills like communication, problem solving, and team work. And analytic analytical thinking, which are essential for success in tech. You cannot, we have a language in Ghana, we call matramakwe. You cannot be doing something whilst you don't understand the logics behind it. The matramakwe is like you are trying to do it, and when it works, fine. No, understand it. Understand. If somebody is, let me use this as an example. If somebody is using iPhone, another person is using Android. If I ask the Android person, why are you using Android phone? The person should be able to tell me the reason why he or she would choose Android phone over iPhone. Likewise, the iPhone user. So it shouldn't be like, oh, I'm using it because many are using it. No, it will not make sense. In IT world, it's not like that. You should have a reason. It could be that it solves a problem which the other one cannot solve. Or it could be that most industries find it so, I'll just say it's user-friendly. If you're using that technology, it's user-friendly. So most industries would like to choose that. Since it's user-friendly, they would like to choose that. So please, let's know that if you are moving along with something or trying to move into this IT thing, try the technical skills and also cultivate the, what do you call it, the communication side of it, so that you can be able to explain to people. It shouldn't be like I have the technical skills and I can't still explain or tell people how good that technology is if I'm being asked. Because when you move to many industry, that is some of the things they will be looking out for. You can't tell them, oh, please, let's implement this technology, and they ask you, why do we have to implement this technology? And you can't tell them the reason. They cannot move into something they don't really understand the reason why they need to move into that and know. And moreover, why do they have to even try and embrace that new technology or the technology you said you are bringing in without giving them insightful reason? Let me just cite this small example too. You know, most people nowadays are moving into the cloud. So if you go to a company and you tell them you have the cloud knowledge, and they ask you, the cloud knowledge you have, we are already using the on-premises technology. When we say on-premises technology, before people will set server in their company, they'll have their own computer and put the information on it on their own and start to do some network connections so that others can connect remotely and use the resources. But now it's not like that. Most companies are migrating to cloud, which means the company, instead of they having their own server, no, they are not going to have their own server. All what they will do is to put all those information on somebody's server somewhere. Then if there is a need for them to access the resource on that machine, they will access it. So if you go, just get to the company and you tell them you are just a cloud person and there's a need for them to move into cloud, you should be able to. Or even if you're not going there to tell them this and you want employment, surely they will ask you these questions. You should be able to tell them why why is it so important for them to be part of the cloud, I would just say be part of the cloud. Because they might also have their reason. They can just say, okay, we don't know if there can be a serious security over there in the cloud, because we are trying to put our information on somebody's machine. So how can we guarantee 100% or I would just say 99% security? You should be able to explain all this. So what I want us to know here is, with the soft communication here, or developing the soft skills, you should be able to communicate well. Let the people know the relevancy of what you have, the knowledge you have. I remember I developed a software, took it to a company, and they were asking so many questions, because you can't just tell them to buy the software and later they will not see the need, or they will later having serious challenges as compared to them not even using the software, because they were doing their own thing before you brought your software. So they should know the reason why they should move from what they were doing and start using technology. Okay. The next then I'll just say define your goals. Sorry, define your goals and desire in tech. So if you want to move into this tech space, you need to have goals. Yes, you need to have goals. And the goals should be, okay, in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 15 years, I am going to be a software developer. I am going to be a data scientist. I'm going to be, let's say, a cybersecurity person. I'm going to be a machine learning person. So you should have all these goals so that when you are pursuing your goals, you know the trend or where you are passing. If you don't have goals, it becomes difficult because it's like I said before, you move from this to this to that to this, and you are combining so many things, which in the end, you run up not getting any idea of what you really want to give to the world. And IT is one thing you need to know. In IT, you are solving a problem. So in all, if you are not able to solve a problem, then there's no need. Whatever you've learned, it doesn't draw any conclusion. The conclusion can be drawn if you can solve a problem with the knowledge you have. Okay, so skill development and technical foundation. What are the fundamental technical skills in today's tech? We can see AI there, and we have product development, which is crucial long-term. Okay, if you pick, let me read this before I explain. In any career, it's important to have hard skills. In tech, the type of hard skills we require will vary depending on what is required for the job. Let's say you are an Oracle DBA. You need to know SQL inside and out, along with how to tune databases and make them function well. So what I would say is every aspect of the IT you choose, there is something you need to know. And one thing you need to know is, what do I have to get before I can just move on with the rest of the things in this technology? So I use this as an example, which is database as an example. You can't tell me you are a database developer or you are a database administrator and you don't know anything about SQL. No, it's not like that. You should know that before you can think of any other thing. So if you are choosing a career path, please just know what you are supposed to get first before you move on to the rest. I see people saying, I want to be a data analyst. Then I want to be, let's say, a machine. I need to have knowledge on machine learning and the rest. And I ask them, so what have you started with? And the person will just say, okay, I try learning this technology, some of the technologies that are used in those fields, you try calling them and I say, okay, then don't you think you are supposed to maybe learn Python first and know how Python can be used for this technology you are talking of? The person will be like, oh, okay, I know Python is part. And I said, okay, start from what you think should be the first thing. Don't go and just be in the middle of the whole thing and just try to be figuring out how you can get your way out. It doesn't work like that. If you don't start well, if you start from the middle, it becomes something difficult and you become confused. But when you start well, you are not going to get confused. You know what you are building. So you know that, okay, from this, I will learn this. From this, I'll learn this. So the example here tells you that you cannot just move into database without learning the SQL, because it's the main thing in the database environment. Okay, how can one acquire, you will need to know SQL inside out, along with how to tune database, like I read. You have system admin too. If you call yourself system administrator, you need to know service. You need to know how you can just install some Windows or Windows operating system on the machine and know how you can manage the Windows and some few things before you can now say, I'm going to learn Windows Server, Windows operating system, which is another server operating system. You can learn more about it and create groups and other things. We have web developers and software engineers. They need to know programming languages. So it's come back to what I said before. You need to choose one particular programming language, know how that language is being used. And whilst you are learning that language, I'll urge you, since I'm in this field of software development, if you know database, it helps a lot in software development. If you know database, it helps a lot. If you skip it, sometimes it becomes difficult for you to understand the whole thing. But if you know it, it helps you a lot. It helps you build. Because most softwares relies on a database, most softwares. So you can't just jump into something which, as I said before, the fundamentals are not there. So if you are moving into software, I'll urge you to know your database well, so that at least it's going to help you. I'll just say not to find it difficult to understand whatever you are learning. Okay. So I'll move on to this point. How can one acquire and master these demand skills, especially in continuously evolving industry? You know, IT evolves. Day in and day out, new technologies are coming. Before, I wasn't a cloud person. I was developing softwares on my personal machines, and I'll go to companies or wherever I'm supposed to deploy this software. I'll go there and deploy the software. So what happens is the code I use in developing the softwares are going to be kept on my personal machine. But now it's not like that. The reason why they have made those changes is when I keep my personal code, I can lose it by losing the laptop, or I'll wake up the next morning. Maybe I was not having the backup of my code. So I'll have a crash of my hard drive and everything will be gone. So now they have given us a platform, GitHub, where we can host all the, the codes we use in developing the application. So in this case, I also need to know how I can use that platform. It wasn't there before, but now it's there. So I need to know. So always I need to keep myself up to date. Before we develop application, like I said, you go and do the installation and everything. Now it's not like that. Some of the applications you need to use Docker Hub. When you are a cloud person, you know. You need to use the Docker Hub. You use Docker. You create your application in the Docker and host it in Docker Hub so that somebody can just go and download, or it can be shipped to any place they want to ship it to do the installation. And there's a reason for this. One, compatibility. I can develop a software, take it to a platform. When I say platform, I'm talking about the Windows platform. And I'll try to install it on that operating system platform, sorry, not Windows necessarily, but operating system platform. So I took it to an operating system platform. I tried to install. Then I'll be having some challenges. So all these challenges I'll be having, it could be compatibility level. It could be, let's say, some libraries where are not working and those kind of stuff. So they sat down and they said, okay, then why don't we bring a container or something that we can create the application in it, so that when we take it at any place, or when we take it to any place, it can work. No matter what the platform is, it's going to work. So in this case, if I don't know this technology, then it means I've limited myself. And that's not what every IT person would like to. We always want to be ahead of our game. We always want the industry to recognize us and know that, okay, this person is having the knowledge and he's having the knowledge up to date. It's not something we can just talk about it, but just something he can do. Because as I said earlier on, many people talk about something they cannot do, and that's not what the industry is looking for. You need to talk about something you can do it. So I always say, don't just say it, be it. If you are, there's no way somebody will just argue or just doubt you. No. And being it is you being able to do it. Okay, what are the most effective ways to stay updated on emerging technologies? Emerging technologies and integrate them into one's skill set. One is to read and subscribe. So what do I mean by that? It could be that you have a mentor or you've met somebody online, not necessarily just somebody, but a person who has been in this industry for so long and know whatever he or she is doing in this field. You can subscribe to his or her channel and begin to follow that person. You can also just be part of a blog, an IT blog, where they share this IT knowledge. Then if you have any question or if you try working on a project and you get stuck, you can post it, then a solution will come from there. That is one smart way to learn. Yes. Especially if you already have the knowledge and you are trying to build a product out of what you know. If you are part of a blog, you may have some challenges because softwares we are building. I'll just say we have people who have just used that same software over and over. So it could be that your experience is not up to their level. So some of the things you are facing as a challenge, they have solved it, or they have met the same challenge and they have been able to find their way out. So it's good to just subscribe to those people's channel and follow their blogs and everything, so that I believe after you have been able to follow them, anything they post will help you a lot. Also, attend industry conferences, webinar, and virtual events, whether it's going to be online or in person. So if you want to be part of any training, whether it's going to be online or in person, it's good to do that. And do not sit and say, I'm okay, or I'm content with what I have or what I know. It's not like that. It doesn't work in IT. No. IT, most of the things we do it collaboratively, and not only collaboratively, we also make sure you get ideas from others. Yes, and that will help you a lot, because when you get somebody's idea and you don't want to do it the same as the person has done his or her own, you can even sit down and add yours. Because I know most technologies were built out of others. Because you and I know these small phones came before we had the Android and we have the what do you call it? The iPhones. Yeah, the keypads came before. And these Android and the iPhones were built out of the keypads. So understand that technology, always you are supposed to learn new things. And if you are able to keep up to date, I believe the industry will love to have your service. So attending the industry conferences, webinars, and virtual events and online will help. You can also follow influencers here and experts. How important is it to specialize in that area? And how can that specialization be used to eventually move into leadership? Sorry, my screen, sometimes I need to maximize and minimize it before I can just see the whole content. So sorry for that. So this is another question we need to answer here. How important is it to specialize in one particular area? Because I said it before. If you are moving into IT, please specialize. Then after you have just specialized in one area and you are able to build something out of it, that motivates you. It motivates you a lot. That motivation alone can help you learn other skill in IT. If you don't do that and you do that touches like this, you move to this one from software, You did something small in software, you did something small in networking, you did something small in this. Trust me, you get to a point where you'll be like you are master of everything, but you can't do anything. Yes, you are telling people, I know this, I know this. So please, it's very important, stick to one thing, know everything. I'll not say know everything because some of the things you can't know everything, but at least a percentage that make a lot of sense. Let's say 90% of it or 98% of it, so that you can also bring out a product. Sorry, you can build a product out of what you have just learned. It helps a lot. So after building that or after finishing with that one, then you can just say, okay, since let's say database, I have finished with database. I'm using database as an example. Now let me move on to programming so that I can write software and put it on my database. I can also say, okay, since I know I have knowledge on networking, I have knowledge on Linux, which is server administration, I can now offer my cybersecurity, which will help me a lot because in a way, I know my networking, and networking is part of cybersecurity. So if I know much about networking, if I'm moving into cybersecurity, it's not going to be difficult at all. I can learn it and learn it with ease, not to just be having more challenging situation. Okay. We need to work on personal projects. After getting all these skills or just try to get all this knowledge, you can work on personal projects. You can start from your own project. Sometimes it's very difficult for people to do this, but I think it's very good to do that. If you have a skill, don't wait for people to employ you before you start using the knowledge you have. No, start something. Whether like mine, I decided to develop my first app. That was, I'll just say, I wasn't even looking for money because the people didn't pay me. I gave them the application and see how it goes. Everything started working. Then the feedback helps me building on it. Then I got to a level where I'm not going to do things for free again because now I know how to build it. So since I know how to build it, then I can now charge. So please, if you have the opportunity to build something for, let's say, whether it's an uncle's school or it's for a family, what do you call it, company or something like that, or a friend's company, just feel free and just develop whatever system you want to develop. Feel free and implement whatever technology you are saying you know. I'm using my software as an example. Feel free and do that. Yes, feel free and do that. So this is how the whole thing is. If you feel free to do all these things, I believe it's just helping you as a person because you are just new to the technology, or I'll not say you are new, let me use this. You have not built anything. So you are now starting to build something. So you should know some of the technicalities. Because one thing in IT is it's all about technical stuff. So the technicalities, some of the challenges you face, you'll be able to know all those things before you get to the advanced level and start charging, or you get to the advanced level and you get hired. That's why most people, when they are hiring, they ask the level of what, the number of years or the skills you have, the number of years you have worked with the technology. If you have not even worked with a company and I believe you have worked on your personal project and you've used the technology over and over, it's something that will help them a lot. Okay, contribute to open source projects and get involved in collaborative what project to gain experience and learn from others. Good. So one thing you need to also know, don't sit alone. I said it before. Don't try to be like, I can learn alone, I can learn alone. It doesn't work in IT. Yes, I might have all the knowledge I think I have, but there are so many things. If I just try to be open, people might just help me out. And this will help speed up my process of doing whatever I'm just doing. So don't sit alone. I believe we now have social media, so it helps a lot, whether LinkedIn or any other social media platform. Yes. And also, if you get the opportunity, like I read here, if somebody is working on a project and you can help the person, please, you can help the person build that project. Any part you can play in building that project, it counts. It's very important because whilst you help the person to do that, surely that person will just, you share ideas because what you know is what you are bringing on board. So in the course of doing all these things, it enhances your skills. Okay. So participate in hackathons or coding challenges. These events provide hands-on opportunities to work on real-world problems. Okay. It's good. It's good to have this kind of participation. I mostly see on social media where some kind of companies will just say, okay, we want to have this code challenge, or we really want to build this application. So if you can be part of it, then when you're able to do that, you send us your source code for us to know that, okay, it works perfectly as we want it. You can try that. You can try that kind of challenges. It's very good. Yes, because with that one, your code can be tested and know your stand, whether you are doing well in this field or you are not. So you don't need to wait for you to get employment or to get employed before you sit down and draw conclusion that, okay, now I'm good to go. No, try all this and it's going to help. Seek internships and apprenticeships. These are excellent way to gain real world experience. Learn from professionals and network within the industry. Sometimes you can also try and join any company, whether you are going to be a freelancer, that kind of stuff. Yes, people do that. They do the work without being paid. Some too, they will be paid. So if your level doesn't deserve or demand any payment, please do not focus on the payment. Focus on how the whole thing is going to work. Then later you focus on money. If you focus on money, you fail. Okay. Let me talk about, after having this knowledge in my field of tech, which is programming, these are some of the most popular languages you love to learn, because it's not all languages. If you learn, I will not say you're not going to be able to work with it. You'll be able to work with it, but industry leading languages, which can help you in all aspects of the IT we are in now. Because now IT is something else. It's not like before. Yes. Before we were not having anything like AI. No. Before we were not having anything like cybersecurity. No. But now we are having all these technologies. So it means if you are learning a programming language, learn the languages that can cut across most of the IT field. If you learn a language like Python, if you are going into machine learning, you are good to go. If you want to do data analysis, you are good to go. Even if you want to develop a software, you are good to go. The same thing applies to JavaScript. If you learn JavaScript and you are moving into web designing, it's going to help you, and development is going to help you a lot. Mostly front-end applications. When I say front-end applications, I'm talking of forms and reports and those things we develop to put on database for people to be able to use. So if you learn JavaScript, it's very good. And also Java. Comparing the two, I think Java is a little bit difficult to learn. But in IT, I always say, there's nothing you cannot do if only you have decided to do it. you can be able to do it. So it doesn't matter how challenging it is, you can still learn it. The C and the C++ is also one of the leading, I'll just say, programming languages. If you learn, it's going to help. As I sit here, I have another language, which is PLSQL, which I use mostly in my project because I am Oracle Apex developer. Yes, I use Apex to develop my mobile applications. I use Apex to develop my web application. So Apex deal with Java and PLSQL. So I have specialized in PLSQL as well. So PLSQL is only for Oracle. So if you're not going to move into Oracle direction, then there's no need for you to move into this PLSQL thing. That's why I did not include it here. Okay. If you want to transition from skill to leadership, so after having all these skills I'm just talking of, if you're able to enroll yourself, just think of whatever you will do in this field. After doing all these things for years, and you want to just be a leader, because before they can appoint you as a leader or leading how should I mean? Leading a role. Like let's say I being a database admin, developer, AWS architecture, I can get an opportunity to work in a company. Now in my company, I lead them. When we are just going to work on something, I need to, because I have the in-depth knowledge on what I'm just talking of. I'm not saying it for saying sake. I know what I'm just talking of. Yes, I know what I'm talking of. And aside me practically being able to do it, I also can talk about it. I can explain what I'm just talking of. So if you want to transition from skill to leadership, what are the key differences in responsibilities and expectation between between a specialized role and a tech leadership position? As a specialist, your attention to detail and deep understanding of your field are crucial. So I can't just tell the people that I'm going to lead this tech or I'll be a leader of this role without knowing or having in-depth knowledge on what I'm just talking of. I need to understand many things in it. If not up to 100%, I always use my 98 or 99 because I'm leading people. So the people I'm just leading, they're looking up to me. Even if I have anything to ask them, or if I ask them to bring something on board, I should know how I can ask that because I'm already working with what I want them to give me their part of it. So it's good to know, have in-depth knowledge. What strategy can be employed to make the gradual transition from a tech individual contributor to a leadership role? One is a shift from problem solving to people management. So aside having the skill, if I want to lead, I should be also know how I can solve problem. As a technical expert, your primary focus was solving complex problems, optimizing systems. However, as a leader, your job shifts from personal solving problems to enabling your team to solve them. When you are just working as an individual, or if you want to build a career, you are building this as an individual. But when you get to the level of you leading a role, you are not working as an individual again. You are working with people. So if you are solving a problem, you are solving it together. So you should know how you can ask questions, ask them questions, and also give them the opportunity to ask questions. If there's a project you guys are working on, you ask them to bring their I'll just say let them bring something on the table so that we can just base on what they have to solve the problem. So what they have and what you have is what you are going to work on. So you should be able to move from that personal solving of problem to that asking questions, because there are different people who are going to solve the same problem. Aside you have other people on board. So those guys you are going to have on board, what are their views? How do you, what are some of the things you expect from them? And moreover, they are different people and they have their own way of thinking. Yes. The way I can solve a problem, the way I can think and solve a problem might be different from the way another person can think and solve a problem. So being a leader, at that moment, you need to understand the people. Yes, because I said you are not working alone, you are working with people, so you need to know how you can just help them out. Okay. He said, how do we do it? How do we do it? How do we shift from problem solving to people management? You need to delegate effectively. Trust your team to handle technical work whilst focusing on the Trust your team to handle technical work whilst you focus on high-level strategy. So, like I said, you are not working alone now, you are working with a team. So when you give them something to solve, you need to make sure you know that, okay, this thing I've given them, I believe, even if they are not able to solve it to a particular level, they'll be able to do something. You'll be able to have a percentage done. Have that confidence in them. If you don't build that trust, it's going to be something else. Because you can't put all the burden on you because now you are working with other people. So give them the work and try them that they can be able to deliver up to a level, if not everything. Empower your team. Yes, when they do that up to a level, you being a leader, you need to empower them, tell them they have done well. But this and that and that and that is what, if we add, is going to help. So you try to give that empowerment so that they will know that although they were not able to do the whole thing up to the standard, but they've done something. They have a percentage and they can do more. So you try to add up what they should have done. Prioritize coaching. Develop your team's problem-solving skills rather than solving issues yourself. Good. Sometimes it's not everything you need to go there and do it for them. You tell them to do, if they're having some challenges, you might also refer them to some kind of blogs or tell them to do some kind of research. Yes. So you ask them, you can do some research on this, that, here, you can go to this place, and get this information. And everything can be done through that. So try and see that, try that and see if it will work. So in a way, you are coaching them. You are not doing the thing, but you are coaching them. You are telling them where to go and what to do to get a solution to the problem. Okay. Another point here is to develop strong communication skills as a leader. So now, if you have the skill and you are moving into that leadership, you need to develop strong communication skills. Technical experts often communicate in detail, data-driven ways, but leaders must be able to translate technical concept into clear, actionable message for different audience, including executives, clients, and non-technical teams. If you are just a technical expert, or if you have a skill and you can develop something, you can develop it, fine. But when you are being taken as a leader, it means whatever you are developing, your team must understand where you guys are going. Yes, you're not doing it alone. So they need to understand you, not your team alone. The board members, let's say it's a software company, the board members should also understand, not them alone. We are also talking about the people you are taking the product to. They should have in-depth understanding of what you are just talking of. And these things are all going to be done by you or it's going to be done by the leader. Yes, Although they can assign that role to another person, but mostly you being the leader, they know that you know more and you can give more detail to what they are expecting. Okay, so with that point, which is developing strong communication, how do we do that? Learn to explain complex concepts in simple, impactful ways. It's good to summarize or have a summarization of everything you are just to talk of. So if you have something to go out there and tell your clients or trying to explain something to the people you work with, you need to understand that just putting everything in that concise way or making it brief and giving more meaningful understanding will let them get the concept more than moving around, trying to give so many kind of vocabularies and trying to give so many kind of jargons which they have not heard before. It's good to bring in jargons, but they are not, maybe some of the clients we are just talking of are not into IT much. So jargons will not be necessary. So just keep it simple, let them understand whatever message you want to convey. Okay, listen.
Speaker, Adebusi, please could you quickly round up because we're almost running out of time, and then
Okay.
with engaging is pretty long.
All right.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay. Learn to think strategically. As a technical expert, you focus on execution, getting the job done effectively. So how do you do that? Understand business objectives, align technical decisions, technical decisions with company strategy. So with that one too, you will just try and understand the business objectives so that you will just align what you are just doing with the business, because every business has its rule. Yeah, we call it business rule. So whatever technology you are going to bring in should be aligned with it. And that is the work of the leader. You being a leader, you need to do that. Adapt a big picture perspective. Think beyond immediate tasks and anticipate future challenges. So if you are bringing a technology, it shouldn't solve today's problem. It should solve today's problem and tomorrow's problem and future to come. Develop decision-making skills. Learn to balance risks, resources, and long-term impact. Like most moving into cloud is because of resource. They don't want to waste money on something they will not need, because I can buy a server and put hard drive of, let's say, 500 gig, whilst I will not need space of 500 gig. So why don't I move into cloud and pay for what I will need at that moment? Okay, I'll say leadership is a journey. Yes, it's a journey, not a destination. The best leaders commit to continuous growth, adapt their approach as their terms and industry evolve. Okay. So another point here is to seek mentorship, learn from experience and, okay, I think I've just, all right, that's all. Sorry. Please, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. So that's all.
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
Listening
So
question.
could you come again? Though my network was breaking from my end.
Please come again.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. Just done. So if there is any question or anything to
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Adukusi, for presentation. Just what keyboard here was very engaging. Yeah, and then what I got from what you've said is where you said there is a difference between wanting something and you needing something, where you give an instance of individuals who would like to use an iPhone or an Android just because people are using it. So you're like, okay, you should just use something because people use something, or you just ensure like you have a reason to why you are using
Yes,
a
yes, yes.
particular stuff. And then this is related to our career parts also. You should not just see this, everybody is just going there or doing that, going to study in that particular career path. So every one of us should just ensure that before we delve into learning something or trying to like establish in a particular path, then we should know the reason why we like want to be there. So I really got that point, and I'll ensure to like inculcate that in my future endeavors.
Okay, okay.
Sorry for that. I am having network issues, so apologies for that break off. So, I don't know. Do we have any questions for the speaker? So we are almost out of time, but we can still wrap this up. If there are any questions for the speaker, you can please raise up your hand so I can call you out. And from my end, I have a question for you, Mr. Adukusi.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So I would like to ask, how does a developer or a cloud engineer grow into a project architect or lead, for instance?
Can you please come again with the question? The line was
Yeah,
breaking.
yes, I said, yeah, it is a network. Sorry about that. I said, how does a developer or a cloud engineer grow into a project architect or lead?
How does, if I get the question, you said, how does a solution architect,
No, how does a developer or a
a
cloud
developer,
engineer,
okay,
yes, grow
okay,
into a project architect or a
grow
lead
into a project architect?
or a lead? Yes.
Okay. If you want to move into project architect or lead as a developer, you should know much about the programming languages you know how to use, the ones you are good at, the ones you think will be so easy for you to just use because you've learned it well and you understand how it works. Aside the languages, you also know we have what you call application stacks. The applications we normally use for building softwares. So you should know which one am I picking. Like in my case, I've chosen Apex. So with the Apex, we have the cloud aspect of the Apex, which can be used to build an application. So most of my clients, I use the cloud technology for them. So if I want to build an application using, let's say, the Apex, I'll move to the cloud aspect of the Apex and just build with it. And we have other, what do you call it? Software libraries or application stacks which can be used. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Is the question answered or that's not?
Yeah, yes. I got the question. I got the answer. Thank you so much for that. And then one more question, though, is going to be the last question because of our time. And so this is going to be on broader aspects. So the question is like, how do you stay relevant in a constantly evolving tech industry?
All right. The technology is evolving seriously. It's moving.
Yeah, it is exactly.
Things is moving day in and day out. Now, before I build application without thinking of integrating any AI features. When I build application now, I need to think of integrating AI features because your clients may just ask some questions which AI could just solve it. So like you are saying now, I just moved to blocks, which has to do with IT aspects. Yes, I have some blogs I'm part of which they are all IT experts. And if there is also, let's say, a new technology which has just come in, which I need to get materials on or some kind of training on, it could be, let's say, buying a book of it and learn it on your own. Or if you cannot do that, you can just enroll on any advanced class and just get knowledge of that. Because most of the, what do you call it, the technologies, when there is an advancement of it, it's kind of huge difference. The margin, the new feature that has come, kind of huge. Some too is little. So if it's not that huge and you think you can just get some books or some materials online and read and just understand and catch up, fine. If you think you cannot do that too, and you need to join any training, then you enroll on any institution you think they can help you with that. And mostly not just moving into this other university thing. No, it should be focused on professional training. They just give you what you want, then you move on. So that's it.
Oh, yes. All right. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, that answers much for my question. So thank you so much, Mr. Adams, for
All right.
the time to be. I really appreciate you coming
Okay.
for these
Okay.
things. So
All right.
and back to everyone on the section. I would like each of us to connect with Mr. Adukusi. I've dropped his LinkedIn profile on the chat box. And then alongside that is the feedback form. I would like us to also give our feedback on this section we had today. So please kindly check up the links I've dropped on the chat box. And then lastly, before we all continue with our various activities, I would like to talk briefly about the hosts of this Become ICT Career Talk we had today. So, as I mentioned just a few seconds ago, this event is hosted by Become Dev Center. And alongside this specific event, we also offer various services, which includes Become Academy, the Tech Apprenticeship, internship programs, and also the Become Global Tech program. Although this is going to be very, very brief, or if you would like to um, get our services or be with us organization, you can also check our websites, the income websites, get more details about what we do. So thank you so much everyone for the time and yeah, we actually support us. So thank you so much and like us to continue with our activities for the day. Thank you so much everyone. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right, all right. So thank you so much. The section is now off. So please kindly we can all drop off now.